start eating soon. At this time, if you all would stand with me, we're going to do the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nelson, would you like to lead us in a song?
Is it going to be patriotic?
Well, I have to say first, Sandy said as we were driving up tonight, you're not going to lead a song, are you? And I said, well, yes, I am. And she and my family sort of dread seeing me up here, maybe putting them on the spot, which I'm not going to do. But anyway, tonight we're going to sing two songs. First of all, we're going to sing the first verse of Rotary, which the Rotarians know, and I know they know, so we can sing that. But then we're going to sing Let Me Call You Sweetheart. And so, here we go. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary. R-O-T-A-R-Y is known on land and sea. From north to south, from east to west, he profits most who serves the best. R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary. Okay, here's the hard one. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light glowing in your eyes so blue. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Ah, that's good. You all did well.
If you would be seated. I'm going to ask if Wayne Smith would bless our food before we eat this evening. So Wayne, if you don't care, please give us a blessing.
Absolutely. Pray with me. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight with heads bowed and eyes closed. Thank you for your presence here. As we celebrate this year-end conclusion of this civic organization and this conference, Father, we ask for special blessing for each person here, and that you would be with them and that you would reflect in them in everything that they do. Father, we ask you to continue to watch over us, this organization, this city, our government, as we proceed in a manner that will keep you honor and glory. Father, I also ask that you bless this food and the nourishment of our bodies in thy service. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and have a little social time. They've set up a salad bar, kind of buffet in the back there. If you'd like a salad, please just go ahead and help yourself, and we'll eat, and then we'll get things rolling again here shortly. Thank you. I want to welcome everyone here tonight. This is our Rotary Club's annual award banquet and officer induction ceremony that we have at the end of our Rotary year. Our Rotary year runs July 1st through June 30th. So we're at the end of our year, thank goodness. And I am extremely excited because that means that I'm fixing to pass the gavel on here in just a couple of hours. I want to thank our family members and our scholarship winners and our community award winners and their families who are all here with us as our special guests. We are honored that you are all here tonight. I also want to recognize a couple of special guests that are with us. I want to thank Mike Foster and Nick Fudge for coming and playing in our band tonight. And we also have Mayor Rick Ellenball is here. Rick. And County County Judge Robert Griffin is over here. And we also have Joseph from the Batesville Guard. If you'll wave your hand, Joseph's back there. Okay, since there's so many here tonight who are Rotarians and several of you that are new Rotarians, I just wanted to kind of give a brief history of Rotary and what we're about, what we have going on right now across the globe. Rotary is a global network of 1.2 million neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers who come together to make positive, lasting change in communities at home and abroad by providing humanitarian service, encouraging high ethical standards in all vocations, and helping goodwill and peace in the world. This all started with the vision of one man, Paul Harris, who formed the Rotary Club in Chicago on February 23rd in 1905, when he and 3 other professional men decided to begin meeting for lunch to form meaningful, lifelong friendships. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passions, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. From literacy and peace to water and health, we are always working to better our world, and we stay committed to the end. The organization's dedication to these ideals is best expressed in our motto, service above self. Today, there are over 35,000 Rotary clubs in 200 countries with members who carry on club, community, and international service. The Rotary Foundation annually spends $105 million on international education and humanitarian programs, providing grants which save lives and improve conditions throughout the world. We work together to promote peace, provide clean water, sanitation, and hygiene, save mothers and children, support educational efforts, and grow local economies and fight disease. Disease results in misery, pain, and poverty for millions of people worldwide. That's why treating and preventing disease is so important to Rotarians. We lead efforts both on large and small scale. We set up temporary clinics, blood donation centers, and training facilities in undeserved communities struggling with outbreaks and healthcare access. We design and build infrastructure to allow doctors, patients, and governments to work together. Our members combat disease like malaria, HIV/AIDS, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, diabetes, and polio. Prevention is important, which is why we also focus on health education and bringing people routine hearing, vision, and dental care. Disease does not prevent itself. We educate and equip communities to stop the spread of life-threatening diseases. Rotary members save hundreds of health projects underway around the world at any given time. We began our fight against polio in 1979 with a project to immunize 6 million children in the Philippines. Since 1985, Rotary members have helped immunize more than 2.5 billion children against polio in 122 different countries across the world. With the help of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Rotarians have raised over $5 billion for the Polio Plus program and have donated their time and personal resources to help end polio. Currently, there are only 3 countries remaining in the polio endemic: Afghanistan, Nigeria, and Pakistan. Year to date, 2017, there have been only 5 new cases reported, which is a reduction of more than 99.9% since 1988, when about 350,000 cases a year were reported. And there were only 37 new cases total reported last year in 2016. Our club, the Rotary Club of Batesville, our club is one of 41 clubs that make up the District 6150 in Arkansas. The district is made up of approximately 2,400 Rotarians located in central and eastern Arkansas. We have a long, proud history here. We were chartered by Rotary International on November 25th, 1940. This is our 77th year as the Batesville Rotary Club. We are very involved in our community with several projects. I have listed most of them in the program, from scholarships and dictionaries, library books and highway trash cleanups, to coats and shoes for children in our area, Stuff the Bus, and sending local high school students to Raleigh, which is a Rotary Youth Leadership. In the past year, our club has joined efforts with other clubs across the globe to do other projects. About 6 or 7 years ago, we helped a Heber Springs club put a water system in an orphanage in Africa so that they would have fresh, clean water to drink. Last year, we again helped a local Heber Springs club purchase transformers that were needed in Honduras. In the remote areas there, children only have direct access to school up to the 9th grade. All the high schools are located only in the heavier populated areas, like our colleges here in the United States, making it harder for the children to travel there. So, it was decided that they needed some programs to help teach the children a trade, to help keep them in their area instead of going off to find work in other locations. Matching Rotary grants have helped fund the start of a vocation class there in 9 of these 9th grade schools. These classes consist of cooking, sewing, and welding. The students who just 3 years ago had no hope of a trade or education beyond the 9th grade are now producing products that will help sustain these programs as well and provide career opportunities. However, one issue was discovered. These schools were originally built and wired to only handle lighting and minimal electrical load. Using all the new equipment for these classes at the same time was impossible. Upon further inspection, some transformers were located as far away as a half a mile from the schools. This is where we came in, with 8 other clubs who all together donated enough resources to provide new transformers for 9 of these schools. Now the children are able to weld, cook, and sew all at the same time. So why am I a Rotarian? Because I love it. I'm impressed with what it does for our community, our nation, and our world. Even though I have never gone on any of these medical trips to give polio vaccines or been to a third world country to help build a new medical facility, I know that Rotary is behind these things and that my donations to RI help support them. It's no secret that I originally joined Rotary to have lunch with my father each week. But knowing that Rotarians really care and that we're doing good out in the world makes me feel good and makes me want to be a part of it. Thank you. We'll continue on in a little bit. Introduce our featured speaker of the evening, Mr. Mark Martin, who doesn't really need an introduction, but I have one, so I'm going to read it anyway, so just bear with me. Mark Martin is the only driver from Arkansas competing in the top circuit of the National Association of Stock Car Racing, NASCAR. He ranked 10 on the all-time win list and 6 on the all-time pole position list. In 2016, he was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Mark's parents, Julian Martin and Jackie Estes Martin, instilled a passion for driving in him when he was very young. Before Mark was big enough to reach the brake and accelerator, his father would put him on his lap and let him steer the car on the crooked roads of northern Arkansas. Martin persuaded his father to build him a race car in the fall of 1973. On April 12, 1974, at the age of only 15, Martin drove in his first stock car race at the small dirt track in Locust Grove, Arkansas. He won on his 3rd start and completed the season by winning the most significant race in his division, the Arkansas State Championship held at the Benton Speed Bowl in Benton. In 1977, he received his diploma from Batesville High School, but while his classmates were participating in graduation ceremonies, He was busy setting a new track record at a race in Springfield, Missouri. With high school behind him, he moved to Springfield and began competing in races throughout the Midwest in the more organized American Speed Association. He was named the 1977 ASA Rookie of the Year before winning the series championship in 3 consecutive years from 78 to 80. He made his first attempt at the Elite NASCAR Winston Cup Series in 1981. He ran a full season in 82 and finished 14th in the final point standings and 2nd for Rookie of the Year. He won another ASA Series championship in 1986. In 1988, he helped develop a stock car racing program with Jack Roush. Martin entered his first Winston Cup victory on October 22nd, 1989 at the North Carolina Motor Speedway. Since joining with Roush, Martin won 35 victories in the NASCAR Nextel Cup, formerly Winston Cup, division and finished 2nd in the point standings 4 times. He managed 395 top 10 finishes in over 700 career starts in NASCAR's top division and holds the record for most wins, with 47 in NASCAR's secondary Busch Series. Martin has captured 5 championships in the International Race of Champions Series and is the series all-time winner with 13 victories. In 2004, he announced that he was going to try to retire and that the season would be his last in the Nextel Cup Series, but later he agreed to postpone his departure when Jack Roush asked him to stay on for an additional year till they could find a suitable replacement. However, he kept racing, tying the record with his 5th second-place finish in 2009. He shares this record with Richard Petty and Bobby Allison. Martin's last race was the November 17, 2013 Ford EcoBoost 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway in Florida. After spending most of his adult life living in North Carolina and Florida, he and his wife Arlene now spend a lot of time here in Batesville. Mark owns several new car franchises across North Central Arkansas and operates a museum housing his race memorabilia, and most recently added the Mark Martin Power Sports. In 2016, Mark and Arlene Martin formed the Mark and Arlene Martin Hope for Arkansas Foundation. Hope for Arkansas, Inc. helps to improve the quality of life for children and families across the state of Arkansas, with a strong emphasis in Batesville and Independence County. The goal of the foundation's efforts is to make a positive difference in the lives of children and families through providing shelter, access to public transportation, education, and career or soft skill training. Mark and his wife, Arlene, have 5 children: Amy, Rachel, Heather, Stacy, and Matt, and I just learned 3 grandchildren. And here's just a little trivia on him for you. He has won more NASCAR Busch Series races than anyone else in the series history. He has a book called NASCAR for Dummies. His 34 career NASCAR Winston Nextel Cups victories. He signed by owner Jack Roush in 1988 as his first Winston Cup driver for the number 6 car. The two currently share the longest active car owner-driver affiliation in the NASCAR Winston Nextel Cup Series. So with that, I'd like for y'all to give a warm welcome to Mr. Mark Martin.
Thank you. What an amazing introduction. Wow. I forgot a lot of that stuff. It's really an honor to be here with you tonight in the Rotary Club in my hometown. When I was a teenager, I was very fortunate that I was able to find my passion and got an opportunity to race cars because I wasn't very good at basketball or football. So I was very fortunate to find my passion and had the opportunity to chase it. So when I got started dirt track racing around here, it went pretty well. And in 1977, when I was getting ready to graduate from high school, it dawned on me that I might be able to make a living doing this, which was one of the coolest realizations that I ever had. You know, when I really thought, you know, I might be able to do this for my career. And I couldn't wait to get out of Batesville and go chase my fortune and fame. And so I moved in March of 1979. I had spent the summer of 77 in Springfield, Missouri, but in 79 I moved to Indiana. And you know, I spent time, I raced 3 years in Indiana. Then I wound up moving to Charlotte, and I lived down there for a couple of years. And then I wound up in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, and then in Milwaukee area, Franklin, Wisconsin for 3 years before going back to North Carolina, and then eventually to Daytona Beach, where we spent 20 years after my NASCAR career was established. And so I tell you all that because I wanted to share with you how proud I am and always have been of being an Arkansan. I'm a very proud Arkansan. I always, when I was introduced, I always was Mark Martin from Batesville, Arkansas. And that's the way I wanted to be introduced. And so after that November 17th race at Homestead in 2013, which was my final race, we made our preparations to come back home. And it's really important to me. And we have now sold our home in Florida, we sold our home in North Carolina, and this is home. In 2000, I think it was 2004, I was still racing for Jack. I've been racing Fords for 23 years. I had the opportunity to purchase the Ford store. It was Bailey Ford when I grew up. And you know, I really wanted to have that store. And I had this vision of all the things that I had accumulated over the years, all the hardware that I'd accumulated over the years of racing, bringing it all back home and putting it in that store. And not every bit of that hardware still exists. I got married to Arlene in 1984, and we moved 7 times in the first 5 years we were married. And about the 3rd or 4th move, I took every single trophy I owned and threw them in a dumpster. And she said, "You're going to regret that." Those would be the most coveted trophies I could have, because they were the trophies from the beginning of my career. They were the trophies where I had my hands on my handprints were on every part of that race car. I worked on those race cars, I built those race cars. And for me, I'm known as a NASCAR driver. That's what I'm known for. What I accomplished in NASCAR is supposed to be a big deal. But to me, the big deal are those days. From 1978, right around 78 till 1988. Those 10 years when I had learned enough about working on race cars and building race cars that I did a large portion of that myself. And I think that the part I loved about racing besides winning, because you got a check for that, and I needed that check pretty badly, was that every time I did win, I knew how to do it. Let's go home and work harder than everybody else and make your race car better. I never once considered out-driving Dale Earnhardt. Never crossed my mind. I knew I could beat him if I made my car better than his. Now, it had been a lot better, but it still would happen. It could be done. If I worked on my car hard enough and we made it good enough, we could beat that guy or anybody else ever raced with. And so I was really fortunate to have that, the opportunity to have the laser focus that I did. But I want to say that I am so grateful for the opportunity that I had to work with so many brilliant people. Some of the greatest people that have ever been in motorsports I had a chance to work with. Not only at Roush Racing, not only at Rick Henry, not only at Gibbs. I got to work, I actually got in NASCAR, I got to drive for just about everybody but Petty Enterprises and Roger Penske at one time or another, or work with them. So I got to work with tremendously smart engineers from Goodyear Tire and Rubber to Firestone Tires back in the 70s, to people at Ford Motor Company and Ford Motorsports, and those engineers. And you know, the thing that I learned all through those years was that the basic premise of everything that I did and everything that we did in racing applies to business or anything else. It's just like if you had a Little League baseball team. If you applied so many of the fundamental foundation properties to it, you could make that team a winner. And what that really consists of is people. It's not the talent of people, because when you compete, and you really compete, you compete with a lot of talent in anything you're doing. I'm not just talking about racing. If it's business or anything else, when you're competing against a lot of people with a lot of talent, it isn't someone that is necessarily, someone who necessarily has the most skill doesn't always win, because it takes a team. And that leader of that team has to know how to motivate people. And motivating people and getting people to work together as a team to reach whatever goal it is so powerful. And sometimes it just can't be beat. It's so amazing. And that brings me to what what Arlene and I are up to now, which is, our foundation. It's very much the same thing as running a race team. It's very much the same thing. It requires a lot of teamwork and a lot of people. And what I found in doing the whatever we want to call it, Fan Appreciation Rocks, our concert that we just did, which was our first really major initiative with the foundation, I really saw the same thing there. It's incredible what a community can do when they all work together for the same goal. I wish that we would have had, I wish I could just capture that whole thing that we did and how perfectly it was executed by so many people, not me, but so many people working together. How the coordination of all the schools and the teachers and the school buses and the traffic and getting the buses in and getting them unloaded, the community center being set up perfectly, that just all went off so fantastic. And that was, that was largely due to Laura Carnett, really. She was an amazing person and all that. I can't say, she's unbelievable. But so many other people had to come through on their, on their tasks for that to work smoothly. And I'm just really proud of how that all worked out and how many people in Batesville made that happen. Not to mention Justin Spencer and his guys shutting down their show in Las Vegas and coming here to work with us for 3 days, mainly to have an impact on our young people. And it's amazing how much Marlene and my heart and what we have, our goals and our foundation, how much that parallels the Rotary Club. So, I really find that interesting. But I was just really wanted to thank everybody, in this club for the work you do for especially the young people. There's a lot of people that there's not ever an end to people in need, but there's something really special to me about young people and our young people today. And for Arlene and I, we want to do things that really make a difference. And like at Christmas, we work with the food pantry to help 300 families have a Christmas dinner that might not have had one and all, otherwise. So for the people who have helped us financiarly with the foundation, I so much appreciate all the donors and all the people that have helped, and Arlene does too. But we really want to make a difference in the young people today here in this area and in this county. And our next really, it was pretty big pulling off the concert thing. That was I needed a vacation. And I don't normally very often need a vacation, but I needed a vacation after that one, because that was pretty big. But our next one's even bigger. We would really, Arlene and I would really like to have a child advocacy center here because for abused children, because they, I think Cersei is the closest one that we have right now, and there's many children that have to make that trip, and then there's many that don't go and don't have the opportunity to go because it's the distance. That's something that's going to take some time, but that we have our eye on that, and we do have our oars in the water on that, we also have our eye on the several other issues that we'd like to be a part of or like to help make happen in our area. So I did want to talk about the foundation a little bit because I feel like it parallels with what the Rotary Club does. I did want to talk a little bit about racing. I could talk a lot more and tell lots of stories. Amazing things, amazing opportunities. It's unbelievable for me now when I look at it. I'm a real blinders, see forward kind of guy. I always have been, and I really can't believe that I did all that. I mean, it's so far behind me and so foggy back there. The introduction sounded pretty awesome to me. I didn't, I hardly even remember all that stuff. It's such a blessing. Such a blessing to work with so many great people. I'm so grateful that I got to do that. And I'm really proud to be back home in Batesville. And I'm proud of your organization. And I'm glad that we have the Rotary Club, and I'm glad that we have all you members a part of it. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mark. I'm going to present you with a certificate for speaking to the club tonight. It's a recognition of service as a guest speaker, and I want to present that to you this evening. And also, we're going to donate a book to the Independence County Library on your behalf. I'm not sure what it is yet, but as soon as I find out what it is, I'll let Jeff know so that he can tell you. But we'll donate a book on your behalf. So thank you very much for coming and speaking with us. At this time, we're going to take just a short, maybe 5-10 minute break, and then we'll convene with the awards ceremony. I'm going to keep moving, try to get this over as quickly as possible. This is the fun part for me. Okay, at this time, we're going to give out some board awards and some club awards. And the first one that I'm going to give out is going to go to Barrett Moore, who is Vice President this year. So Barrett, I'm going to present you with this certificate. And thank you for your service to the club. I really appreciate you. Okay, the next one that we would present would be for Dwight Ford as treasurer. Dwight was not able to be with us tonight. He had some family in, so we'll give his. And then the next one is Johnny Kent. If you would come up, Johnny. We have an award for you for being the best sergeant at arms ever. Thank you so much for your service to the club. Okay, next we have Matt McDonald. Matt, if you would come up, we would like to present you with a certificate of our appreciation for being the administration chair for the last year. So thank you for your service to the club. Matt Martin, would you come up, please? We want to give you a certificate of appreciation for being our foundation chair for the last year. Thank you for your service to the club. The next one that we have would be for Ryan Puckett, who is our membership chair, and he was not able to be with us tonight either. Brenda Henley, if you would please come up. We would like to present you with a certificate for being a co-service chair this year. Thank you for all that you do for the club. Deanna Green, the other co-service chair. Thank you for all that you do for the club. We appreciate you. Kathy Drew, Miss Publicity. Thank you so much for being our publicity chair for this year and many other years. We appreciate it. Dennis Moore. Dennis, we want to present you with a certificate for being a board member and also president nominee. Thank you for your service. Cassandra Skelton. We want to thank you for being a great board member. We appreciate your service to the club. Thank you. And last but not least, Donna Cole. We want to present you with a certificate of our appreciation for being a great board member. And also, Donna does all of our COGS each week. So we really appreciate that because that's a lot of work. So thank you, Donna. Okay, at this time, I'm going to present the Rotarian of the Year Award. Being a member of a Rotary Club does not make someone a Rotarian. It only makes them a member of a club. A Rotarian helps this club achieve its goals and acts with high ethical standards. The Rotarian of the Year award is designated for one Rotarian who clearly stands out in demonstrating service above self and commitment to the four-way test. A nominee should be an outstanding club member who has made significant contributions to the mission and the operation of our club, and to one or more avenues of the community or international service. This award may be given to a member who exhibits service above self in their daily activities and who promotes Rotary by their actions and involvements. This may be accomplished through one major activity in club service or in multiple activities or by serving on several committees. This person should be highly visible in weekly activities of the club. At this time, I would like to present Donna Cole with this award. Donna has been a member of the club for over 4 years. She has served on the board for the majority of that time. She is always there to help out anytime you ask, from chauffeuring Raleigh youth or dog food to the Humane Society, to helping set up yard sale fundraisers and helping with grants. For these reasons and many, many more, we are honoring Donna tonight with the Rotarian of the Year Award. Also, and this award also comes along with a Paul Harris Fellow. So very excited. Recognition acknowledge individuals who contribute or who have contributed, make contributions made in their name of $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation International. It was established in 1957 to show appreciation for and encouraging substantial contribution to the Rotary Foundation. I would like to honor Donna tonight with her first Paul Harris Fellow. Congratulations, Donna, and thank you for all the work that you've done. Yes. Okay. The Service Above Self Award. We don't give this one out every year, but I kind of like it since I'm president. Well, I'll give it. This award is presented to the member who exemplifies the Rotary idea of service above self in their daily activities and who promotes Rotary by their actions and involvements. This individual has contributed to the betterment of our community by the unselfish giving of their talents, time, and energy to contribute the furtheration of the Rotary mission. The mission of Rotary International is to provide service to others, promote integrity, and advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through its fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. At this time, I would like to present my BFF, Max McElmurray, with this award.
Can we assume that comes with no grill?
No grill. He's not winning a grill at this time. Max has been a member of our club for over 23 years. He has served the club 38
I was gone. I was in Dallas for 10 years.
Are you arguing with me?
If you're going to give me a award, I'll...
38 years, he said. He has served the club well and is a past president of our club. He is one that will always help do whatever task needs done, even if it involves transporting youth to Raleigh or an exchange student from a soccer game to a Rotary meeting in another town, and many other things that he does not want credit for. Thank you for always being such a great representative of Rotary in our club. Congratulations, Max. I'm so proud to call you my friend. Okay, so I have a up with another award this year just because I can. And I'm just calling it the MVP Award. This year I wanted to add the MVP Award. I wanted to recognize a person that has gone the extra mile for our club. This person joined the club as our IT support guy. It's his job to help make sure that we have working computers for the weekly programs, and he also videos each meeting, later posting them on social media. He hasn't been with our club very long, but he has participated in every single event since his membership began back in the winter. He has not only done his job well each week, but he has been my sounding board on many occasions, gone on a road trip with me to district officer training, shadowed me during the trap shoot, and endured 2 long days of the yard sale fundraiser, and to my knowledge, never complained one time. This winner is Aaron Green. Thank you for helping the club and me and always being there when we need you. You're going to make a wonderful Rotarian and somebody an excellent husband one of these days. Okay, this time I'm going to present a few other awards that I wanted to give out this year, and they are the years of service. I wanted to acknowledge everyone that has been in our club for over 15 years or more, so at this time I would like to do that. The first one, and he couldn't be here tonight, is Mark House with 15 years. Audrey Poole, 15 years. Let's get your certificate. Kathy Drew, 17 years. Wait, what did you say? You're only 18? Oh, you're only 18. Ron Carter, 18 years, and he couldn't be with us tonight either. Bill Olson, 21 years. Max McElmurray, I have 23, he says 38. Potato, potato, you know. Dunnigan, 22 years, and she wasn't able to be with us tonight either. Nelson Barnett, 29 years. Dale Cole, 29 years. We appreciate you. Johnny Kent, 29 years. It must have been a Jerry Rose, 32 years. Fred won at 39 years, and he wasn't able to make it tonight either. And last but not least, Butch Ketz with 40 years. Dennis, would you come up, please? At this time, we're going to move on to scholarships. Each year, our club presents a scholarship to one graduating senior at the 5 local schools: Batesville, Southside, Midland, Cedar Ridge, and Cave City. At this time, I would like to present our scholarship winners with a certificate. And if you don't mind, when you come up, if you would tell us just a little bit about yourselves, we would love to hear it from you. And the first one that we have goes to Batesville High School, Amanda Ocolo.
name's Amanda. I'll be going to UCA in the fall, and I've enjoyed coming to Rotary sometimes for student council, so I'm going to miss coming and seeing you guys.
Next, we have a woman, I was going to say child, she's not a child anymore, that I feel like I helped raise. It's from Cave City High School, Miss Heaven Faust.
I'm Heaven, and I graduated from Cave City High School and currently a CNA at White River Medical Center. I plan on attending the ACCP and transferring to Lyon College and going to medical school to hopefully become a surgeon.
Next, we have Cedar Ridge High School, Miss Brittany Green.
Hey, I'm Brittany, and I'm from Cedar Ridge, and I'm going to Jonesboro A-State, and I'm going to major in animal science. And thank you for this.
From Midland, we have Sydney Marks, and I don't think she was able to be with us tonight. And then last but not least, Southside High School, we have Terry Lynn Miller.
Hi, my name is Terry Lynn Miller. I just graduated from Southside High School and I will be attending UCA. I will receive my elementary education major and then I will go on to receive a master's for counseling. And thank you for looking through all the scholarships and choosing us and the other girls.
Congratulations to you all. Community Award winners. This year is our second annual Community Award program. We posted on Facebook, we ran ads in the paper, radio, and emailed all our family and friends and coworkers to get the word out. We wanted the community to nominate people they felt were deserving of these awards, and let me tell you, I had many, many more nominations than I ever dreamed I would get. After the nominations were turned in, a committee was formed with the task of deciding who the final winner in each category would be. I'm happy that most of them are here tonight for us to honor. At this time, I would like to present each of these winners with an award. The first award was Making a Difference Community Service Award. This award honors a person who are making significant contributions to our community through their time, actions, talents, and dedication. The honorees selected should serve as a role model for compassion and service and be striving to make our world a better place with a passion for helping others in our community. Danny Dozier, member of the Main Street Batesville Board, was chosen as the winner of this award for all the hard work he has put into our community. The person who nominated him had this to say: he puts in untold hours on the Maxfield Park project by overseeing workers, doing parts of the work himself, recruiting volunteers to provide their services at no or low cost, organizing fundraising concerts, and holding a fundraising event that was supposed to be in his lovely yard but had to be moved inside because of rain. He may have retired, but it wasn't so he could rest. It was so he could give more time to promoting the revitalization of our historic downtown and leading the Maxfield Park project. He also has put a lot of time and money into rehabbing the old Sterling store building on Central and Main. He is working with an investor who is planning to use this building in a way that will increase the number of visitors to downtown Batesville who will eat and shop when they are here. He does all this because he loves his hometown, and he does it all as a volunteer. As Batesville tries to build its tourism industry, an active and attractive historic downtown will play a big part. and Danny's efforts will help make that happen. For these efforts and many others not to mention, we would like to present this award to you, Danny, and thank you for all you do for our community. So if you would please come forward.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to get this from such a worthy organization as the Rotary Club is. And I enjoyed listening to Mark's conversation there. And, you know, I graduated from high school in 1969 in Batesville, and I was born and raised here too, and moved off, went to college, and decided to move down south and play some music. And I went down there and I married a girl down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and when I proposed to her, I said, now there's two things that are probably going to happen before you say yes. And one of them, I'm probably going to keep playing music the rest of my life, and the other is I'll probably end up moving back to Batesville. And that's what we did. I'm so glad to have been born in a place like this and to be able to help and give back to the community for so many things. And I'm very honored. Thank you.
Doctor, Nurse, Care Worker of the Year Award. This award is open to any doctor, nurse, or care worker who has shown they go beyond the call of duty. Someone who has gone the extra mile, improved treatment or care, and whose work has affected others around them. Dr. Ron Bates is the winner of this award. He was not able to be with us here tonight, but it was noted by the person who nominated him that he works crazy hours. He makes sure to fit you in if you need to see him, and he will call you after hours to check on you, etc. For making a difference in his patients' lives, we present this award to him, and we thank him for all that he does for the health of our community, and we'll make sure that he gets that award. Okay. The Outstanding Community Service Award. This award is for a person who has made a dramatic impact on our community. Someone who has gone the extra mile by giving assistance to projects or causes in our area. Dr. J.D. Allen's nominator had this to say: I realize that he is a physician and has helped hundreds, if not thousands, of patients in our region. However, this award is greater than him just being a physician, and I would like to recommend him as the overall Community Service Award recipient. He and his wife, Cindy, among others, have begun the O2 Memorial Track Scholarship Tournament. They have worked tirelessly to raise funds, organize volunteers, and promote this tournament, not only as a local event, but as a regional event. On May 6, 2017, they held the second annual track shoot at the Paul Williams Shooting Complex in honor of Will Olson and Camden Osborne. They had 265 adolescent shooters, 21 school districts represented, and 900 people in attendance. With his leadership and many volunteers, they were able to match the previous donation of last year to over $50,000. These donations will provide 4 students in a 7-county area the opportunity to receive $2,500 in scholarships. I see this not as an award, rather as an achievement, that he has not only assisted patients in the area for over 35 years, but he has a reach much greater than medically, and that he is helping so many students and volunteers by showing leadership, volunteerism, and giving back to his community. He and his wife Cindy are some of the most humble and generous people that I've ever met. This is not only because they are invested in, and if I named every single cause they are involved in, this letter would go on and on. I can think of no other person that deserves the recognition as much as Dr. Dave Allen does. At this time, Dr. Allen, we would like to award you this, and thank you for your service to our community.
I am not a native of Batesville, but I am a native of Batesville. I've been here long enough now, I feel like this is home, and it certainly isn't. I love this town, I love the people in this town, I love what it stands for and what it means to so many people that live here, that pass through here, that go other places, and most of them, like Danny, want to come home. So, what you do as an organization, as a Rotary Club, reflects, I think, the passion of the people that live here to make this community something special. And it really is something special. And I think that everybody within and that lives here, and certainly those who live around here, understand that being from Batesville requires a certain amount of input. You can't just be a passive member of the community. You got to really want to be part of the community. I respect that, and I certainly have appreciated the opportunity to live here and to practice here. I thank you for this award. It means a lot. Ever since I was a shortstop for the Nashville Rotary Club Little League team in 1959. Thank you very much.
Educator of the Year. This award is for a person who goes out of their way to support their students. This person cares deeply for their pupils, and it shows through all their actions. Stu Smith, or Coach Smith as most people know him by, has been with the Batesville High School for over 25 years. The person that nominated him simply put that he's the best, always willing to help out on or off the football or baseball field. For his help and guidance with the students that love him, and as well as his support for the Batesville School sports programs, your students nominated you and salute you, and so do we. Thank you, Stu, for all that you do. Please keep up your good work.
I'd like to thank the Rotary Club for bestowing this award upon me and the students that nominated me. I also would like to give special thanks and appreciation to the other winners tonight for making this such a great place to live and a great place to raise your family. Always has been. I also want to say how thankful I am to be in a community with such great educators, teachers, administrators that go above and beyond every day to work with your kids, my kids, our kids. I also want to give special thanks to my mom. She was a high school math teacher, taught me a lot about teaching. What an awesome responsibility that it is each and every day, and she taught me that, and I approach my job with that in mind every day. She also told me two things. One, teacher on their feet is better than two in a seat. You always get up and walk around that class to teach. Don't sit down behind the desk. And number two, she said that, man, you're not a teacher unless a transfer of knowledge takes place. Otherwise, you're just a presenter of information. I've never forgot that. I also want to say thanks to all the kids, because that's what it's all about. Makes my life very special. We've got some fantastic kids in this area. They make me proud, and they give me great, great hope for the future, because they're just wonderful. And then last but not least, I want to thank my wife and my family, because it's a lot of hours put into doing what we do as a coach, and they were always understanding to me and always let me do what I love to do. So thanks a lot.
Role Model of the Year. This award is aimed at a public servant, such as a policeman, firefighter, paramedic, first responder who goes beyond the call of duty. Ryan Nass, wildlife officer for the Arkansas Game and Fish, was nominated and has been chosen the winner of this award. Ryan's nominator had so much to say that it could have been a book, so I'm going to paraphrase the best that I can. Ryan is deeply rooted in this community and made overwhelming efforts to ensure Batesville and the surrounding area is a better place for us all. Not only is he a wildlife officer, but he is a certified law enforcement instructor, teaching classes at the Academy in Public Relations, CPR, First Aid, and Defensive Boating Operations. He never let an opportunity pass to help teach a younger officer that law enforcement is more than just issuing a citation or making an arrest, but it's helping the community and educating the public in any way and every way that you can. He also volunteers to coach youth soccer in the spring and fall. He often takes his lunch breaks to coach these games, sometimes even having to coach in his officer uniform. He teaches kids that the game is about sportsmanship and learning to work as a team, putting in hard work to accomplish a goal, and being just as respectful in a loss as you are in a win. He serves on the board of the Independence County Shooting Sports Complex and on the UACCB Criminal Justice Advisory Board, and gives presentations to all intro criminal justice students about scholarship information and internship opportunities. In 2016, he organized the Batesville Project Graduation Trap Shoot, which raised over $10,000. He has taught thousands of kids boater and header education, assists with the annual 120-mile, 3-day Boy Scout White River Canoe Race, cooks breakfast for 200 area high school and college athletes at the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Baptist Church Camp, and volunteers at the John 3:16 Wild Game Supper. Ryan has also been able to acquire the title of sponsor for the annual Cersei Great Strides Walk through the Arkansas Wildlife Officers Association, which raises money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and goes directly towards CF research and drug development. He spends countless hours at youth fishing events and simply interacts with public on a daily basis while protecting the riverbanks and in the deer woods. So for protecting our children, our community, and our wildlife, we present this award to Corporal Ryan Nast. Thank you for your service. It is not going unnoticed, and you are making it.
Well, thank you, Amanda. Just like to tell the Rotary thank you for all they do for the community. I know some of the other award winners tonight. Coach Smith, I know he was out there on that baseball field back when I was playing years and years ago. So he has dedicated himself to the community for many, many years. And I was born and raised here. I just feel very fortunate that I'm able to give a little bit back of what Batesville has given me throughout the years. And of course, it would be a long ride home if I didn't thank my beautiful wife for being right beside me the whole entire time. But thank you, Rotary Club, for all you do for the community. I really appreciate it.
Before we begin inducting the new board, I just want to take a minute to personally thank the past and present board and to all of our members. I want to thank you for your commitment to Rotary. I want to thank you and your families for all the hard work and dedication and for always arising to the challenge through the Rotary years, by your service to the community and in the donations to the Rotary Foundation. Without you, it could not be done, and I know that together we can do anything. I also want to thank my family that's here tonight. My husband Brian, who's my rock and my best friend, and I love him dearly. Here's to another 20 years together, baby. I also want to thank my parents, Jeff and Angela Zelasco. My father is the reason I joined Rotary in the first place, for a little father-daughter time. But what I got was so much more. They taught me at an early age to always help out when I can, and to be kind to others and stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. These are the things I live by every single day, to always treat others the way I want to be treated. I'm also grateful to the many friends I have made through Rotary, locally and throughout the district. I've seen a new energy in Rotary and felt the excitement. I hope that in your year to come, you will continue the wonderful work there. Johnny Ken, at this time, if you would come, we would like to induct our newest member, Dr. Michael Hester.
Yeah, bad, yeah.
I do. I don't want him to lose it.
Well, I'll take it back. I usually carry himself, but I'm gonna. It is my pleasure tonight, Rotary members, to induct our newest member and a new member to our community. Dr. Michael Hester is going to be our new school superintendent. Stu, your boss. Now, Michael, I hope you paid
real close attention to Amanda's first speech, because that's half of what I was going to say to you. But there are a couple of things that she left out. She talked about our club being organized 77 years ago, 1940. We first met at the Marvin Hotel, which you won't have the pleasure of seeing because it burned to the ground, but it was a fabulous place to go and have lunch and associate with other members of the community. Our charter night banquet, Stu, we had the Batesville High School choir, and in my notes from the past it said, sang rousing rendition of God Bless America and other songs. The Batesville High School band played that night, and we had 25 members who started that club. And we only recently lost the last of the charter members, and that was Mr. Doyle Rogers, who was a great citizen in Batesville. She talked about all the things we do, literacy project, community service. Anywhere you go and find something good going on in this community, if you lift that blanket, you'll find a Rotarian hard at work. The thing we ask you to do is, like this young man here, when they say, can you do this? The answer will be yes. You've been a Rotarian before, so we don't have to go through all that speech with you. I do want to, at this time, let you come to the mic and tell the people in this room about you, your family, and what brought you to Batesville.
Well, thank you, and it will be an honor to serve with you in this community. Obviously, I have a position that I get to serve students and students first, and work in an educational community that we just treat each other as an educational family. And so it's an honor to be in a community where the focus is on education and on students, and that you care about the quality of this community and the focus on education. And so those are some of the qualities that we were looking for in a community, and we start our journey tonight with the Rotary Club and then here in Batesville. And I want to thank my wife Peggy publicly, who she's been on my educational journey that brings us to this point. And Stu, just like what you said, the teaching, the coaching, the administration, the meetings, it's not possible without that kind of support, so I want to thank her. Also publicly want to thank Mr. Gary Anderson. The transition to coming to Batesville, he has been a champion for us, and he is true Batesville fan and the #1 Batesville person, pioneer that I know of, and he has been wonderful to help this transition to work with. Again, we look forward to serving, and we'll do that.
We're glad to have you here. This is your badge. We're going to keep it tonight. It'll be in the box in the front of the room out at Kelly White's. Be sure to put it on when you come into the room, because the Sergeant of Arms has a little carrying fee if he brings it to you. So, folks in the room who don't understand the Rotary tradition, we don't use last names. So from this moment on, your Mike, welcome him to the Batesville Rotary Club.
Thank you.
Nana, can I just say one little thing before you start with something else here?
I'm not going to stop it.
I didn't think you were. It's just this. Members and guests, doesn't tonight make you proud to be a Batesvillian? Give yourself a hand. Oh, I'm going to tell the joke after I induct her. Of course I have a joke.
All right. Okay, at this time, we're going to start our new board inductions. If we could have Donna Cole, Dennis Moore, Cassandra Skelton, and Wayne Smith. These will be your board members for the 2017-2018 year. Wayne?
Wayne Smith to the front, please. Wayne Smith.
Join these good folks right over here.
Sure.
Rotary board members, do you accept and understand the challenges of the office to which you have been elected or selected? And will you work with diligence for the betterment of this club? You are now our newest and returned board members. Give them a hand.
Chairs, if we could have Matt McDonald, Matt Martin, Ryan Puckett, Kathy Drew, and Deanna Green.
And while they're coming, these are our service chair people who are not unfamiliar with what they are accepting. But I will say to you the same thing. Service chairs, do you accept, understand the challenges of the office which you have been elected, and will you work with diligence to support this club?
Yes.
Give them a hand, folks.
Okay, next we have President-elect Dennis Moore, Secretary me, and Treasurer Dwight Ford.
You have a new name? Me. As officers of the Batesville Rotary Club, do you accept and understand the challenges of your office? And will you work with diligence to carry out these responsibilities in the coming year?
Yes, sir.
Give them a hand, folks. She did allude to a story. And I do have a story. Now, as you know, this is my swan song, members. You don't have to put up with me as your Sergeant at Arms anymore. However, Amanda, when you gave me the Sergeant of Arms certificate, you were very kind to me. Because the first one she gave to me was the Bozo Award. Don't understand that, Amanda. So there was a man and his wife having dinner in a really nice restaurant. Seated across from them at a table was a lady imbibing in a lot of gin. It was obvious that she was pretty drunk. He kept looking at her, and his wife said, "You keep looking at this lady over here who's drinking so much. Do you know her?" "Yes," he sighed. "That's my ex-wife, who took to drinking 7 years ago when we got a divorce." She said, "Oh my, you wouldn't think that a person could celebrate that long."
So glad you ended with a good one, Bonnie. So glad. At this time, I'd like to ask Barrett Moore to come forward. Barrett, as the upcoming president of the Batesville Rotary Club, will you do, to the best of your ability, administer the duties of the office of president in a business-like manner and in accordance with the club's constitution and bylaws?
I will.
All right. Here's your new pen. This is yours. I'll let you.
Okay, so for those of you in the room who don't know this, Amanda stepped up to be president for a second time when we had a vacancy. Let's give her another round of applause. In a lot of what you see here, folks, is because of Amanda's hard work over the last 2 years. She was president 2 years ago, and I look back through the Rotary database. It was astonishing the number of things that we've done. 19 service projects your year, I think that's correct. Whoa, 19 projects, that's huge. I have a lot of things I want to say to you tonight, but they've been covered by the other comments we've had. There's a few things I want to tell you. And I'm going to echo what our president, Ian Risley, who's an Australian, said to most of us who read our Rotarian magazines. How many people read the Rotarian magazines? Oh, you got to read them, folks. They're good. You get them because you're a Rotarian. I don't know why or how to describe why I'm a Rotarian or what it means to be a Rotarian, because we do so many different things. We're involved in so many different areas of the community. And so the way to define a Rotarian is by what they do. They will know we are Rotarians. This is me now, not him. They will know we are Rotarians by our service. And we are serving here, folks. Look at the back of your program. You see what we did just within the last year. I didn't know we were that active this year. Isn't that amazing what we did? The president has asked us to focus in the coming year, and I think it's very doable. Just bear with me for a minute. We're going to work together with other clubs and corporations or governments to do new projects in the community, to better the community. He wants us to plant a tree for every Rotarian in our community. That's 49 trees, 50 tonight. Mike, can we do that? Sure we can. Sure we can. He wants to raise awareness about polio on World Polio Day. It's October 24th, and eradicating polio. As Amanda said, we are really this close. And they've got an educational flyer. We're going to put that up in the club and talk about it. But apparently, eradicating polio, rather than just maintaining it, will have a $40 to $50 billion impact on the world economy. That's amazing. He wants to grow our clubs and promote Rotaract and RILA. If you don't know what RILA is, that's the Rotary Youth Leadership Academy. We send 6 students from our area to RILA. That's a record as far as I can tell. That's great. We need to do it again this year. How many of you have attended the Rotary International Convention? Has anyone in the room been? It's in Toronto next year. We need to think about going to that, don't you think? So I look forward to a great year. This has been exciting. Look, we have 80 people here tonight. This is a great thing for the club, don't you think?
Yes.
We're going to move forward. I hope you're as excited as I am about our future. I look forward to serving with you. And with that, we will end. Is there something else?
Okay. If you're an award winner tonight, if you don't mind, stick around for a few minutes so we can get a few pictures before you leave. Thank you.
And with that, we'll end as we always do with the 4-way test and the things we think, say, or do. Number 1, is it true? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? We're adjourned.